Except for Dexter, all of the primary characters from Dexter Season 1 are now deceased. Other than Dexter, all of the major characters from Dexter Season 1 have died since Batista's passing. The primary characters from the first season of Dexter were Deb, Harry, Batista, LaGuerta, Dokes, Rita, Brian Moser, and Dexter. Dexter has been at least somewhat to blame for each of their deaths, which have occurred throughout the franchise. Even Dexter, who was officially declared dead in the conclusion of New Blood, was later revived by Iron Lake medical personnel. Although Harry had already passed away at the start of Dexter Season 1, the franchise has gradually eliminated all of the primary characters from the beginning of the series. In Season 1, Dexter killed Brian Moser, also known as the Ice Truck Killer, after he attempted to kill Deb. In Season 2, Dokes was killed by Lila after he almost exposed Dexter. In Season 4, the Trinity Killer killed Rita in retaliation against Dexter. In Season 7, Deb killed LaGuerta to save Dexter. In Season 8, Dexter let Oliver Saxon kill him. In Resurrection, Leon killed Batista to save Dexter. In Dexter, Resurrection, Vince Masuka is still alive and even made his eagerly anticipated comeback earlier this season, but he wasn't a major figure in Season 1. He was a recurrent figure at that point, and his influence on the plot and Dexter's main issues was considerably diminished. Watching Dexter, Original Sin Season 2 after Batista's passing would have been even more painful. Batista's passing would have made the second season of the prequel series more challenging to watch, even though Dexter, Original Sin's termination was devastating. Since Batista and Dexter had only recently bonded in Original Sin, it would be much more difficult to watch them grow closer in the early 1990s knowing that Batista's death and the scathing final words, F*******, Dexter Morgan, would be part of their final encounter. Additionally, we already know that all of the main characters in Dexter, Original Sin will end tragically. The fact that Batista and LaGuerta would both be slain to save Dexter would be taken into consideration when evaluating their flirtations. Deb would go on to make significant progress toward becoming a police officer before her untimely demise. Even Harry's attempts to mentor Dexter would ultimately result in his suicide. Given how brutally either Dexter or Resurrection finish, there isn't much hope for happiness in Original Sin's recurrent character arcs. As of right now, Dexter's and Masuka's tales are the only ones from that era that are allowed to continue in Dexter, Resurrection, unless some of the new characters from Original Sin are introduced in the most recent sequel series. Although inevitable, Angel's death was ultimately disappointing. The emotional build-up that a character with his franchise legacy deserves was not achieved in the scenes before Angel's death in Dexter, Resurrection Episode 9. Batista was killed in less than 20 minutes of screen time after losing his badge. Everything happened so quickly that it all felt very heavy-handed, so his last moments with Dexter didn't really pack the emotional punch I had hoped they would. Pulp Fiction allusions are fine with me, but the "stay cool, Thurman's stay very cool" statement confused me. It seemed inappropriate and overly humorous for such a pivotal point in the Dexter series. I can't help but think of Samuel L. Jackson's Jules yelling, "Be cool," in one of Thurman's most famous films, Pulp Fiction, even if it's not an exact quote. Perhaps it would have sounded better if Charlie had said it earlier in the series, but it was too late and ended up sounding foolish. As soon as Dexter set Batista go, things started to go south. I wished Dexter's inner monologue had stopped during that sequence and let the event unfold for the first time in my life. "We used to be partners." The voiceover's "perhaps we could be partners again" statement was really overdone.